Hi guys, this is Elle from livinglouise.com, and today I want to talk about a movie that I recently saw. It's called The Normal Heart, and I already wrote a blog post about it, and I just feel like I should do a video about it because of the movie itself. There were tons of people that watched it on HBO, but I feel like there are not enough people that watched it because it's a really good movie, and when you look around on YouTube, you actually don't find any reviews except for one guy that is really cute, a younger guy that has a YouTube channel here, and he's been talking about the movie, and he was really moved, and he has said that he had to cry, and I can't imagine that there is anyone else out there that watched the movie and did not have to cry, because it's such a serious topic. In case you don't know what it is about, it is about the outbreak of AIDS, HIV/AIDS in the beginning of the 80s. And it's specifically about the gay community because this is where it started to find notice. When you look online and when you study it a little bit, the beginning of the 80s, when it started in the gay community, was not the beginning of AIDS itself. It was just when people started noticing it and when it all of a sudden started to become an epidemic. Back then it was known as gay man's cancer because no one knew, quite frankly, what to call it, because there was no studies on it. It all of a sudden started. Gay men started having weird blotches on their skin, and there was no scientific anything about it, so no one knew what to call it and what it was. So this movie is about the outbreak, and the cast, just to name a few, is Julia Roberts, Mark Ruffalo, Matt Bomer, and Taylor Kitsch. Great, Taylor Kitsch. I'm pretty sure that you know a few of them, and or maybe every single one of them. They're great actors, and they made this movie just perfect because the movie actually is based on a play by Larry Kramer, and Mark Ruffalo is playing Ned Weeks, and Ned Weeks is a guy that is, quite frankly, to the average person, may be very annoying. But you know what? When you fight for something, and this guy is fighting to get attention to help the people that are affected by this disease, because no one's listening. Why is no one listening? Because it's a minority. In the 80s, people weren't out of the closet, didn't come out of the closet quite yet. A lot of people did not want to come out, and so it was a minority where HIV/AIDS started. So no one wanted to listen. The White House didn't want to listen. No one wanted to listen. And you got to remember, this is a play, but this was very, very, very close, if not 100%, like it was. Maybe not the specific events. That is, a thing that I'm not sure about. I know that Ned Weeks is loosely written on Larry Kramer himself, because he was a founding member of the GMHC, which Ned Weeks in the movie is too. And the GMHC is, I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't know, is the Gay Men's Health Crisis. They were founded at the beginning of the 80s to support that cause, getting attention, getting the word out there. And yeah, so a character, I know that everyone is raving about Mark Ruffalo, and I love him, and he's great. But the one that I felt like that touched me the most, and not only because of his looks, everyone that knows Matt Bomer knows he's a great looking guy, but because of how he transferred that what's going to happen to him and to his relationship with Ned Weeks, and and which is Mark Ruffalo. And Matt Bomer actually lost a lot of weight for this movie to play his character. And I have to say, you know, I've never seen anyone playing a role so much in a way that I sit in front of the TV and truly 100% believe that this, what I'm seeing, is happening right now. So now, why does this also hit home with me? Pretty hard, because my brother is gay, and he's lost friends to AIDS. And in case you don't know what the difference is between HIV and AIDS, it's basically the same disease, but AIDS is when the disease itself breaks out. Like HIV is the one before it completely breaks out, and when you're HIV positive, does not mean that you have AIDS. Anyway, you got to study that a little bit more, or go to my blog. I have a blog post about it that explains it in more depth, because there is a lot more to it, but that's just an easy way to explain it to you. So yeah, this movie is just a reminder to me how it was, and to a lot of people it probably is something that they did not know how it was, and to those that lived through it, it's probably extremely hard to watch, because for someone like me that grew up in the 90s, it's already super hard to watch. So I can't imagine what it feels like when you've been actually through this. It also, for me, is a great reminder of that this isn't over yet. You know, there is still no cure. There are things that you can take. There is some sort of a prevention. There's safer sex, like everyone talked about in the 90s, but there is no cure. And the media actually is something that I blame a little bit for people not talking about it anymore, because the media is just like also with celebrities, as long as it's hip and trendy, which is actually scary to say when it comes to a disease, but as long as it is hip and trendy. Now my doggy is in the background. Maybe she wants to come in here and want to say something too. She's sneezing. You know, as long as it's like something everyone talks about, the media is going to talk about it. And now that there are other things that are important too to talk about, they just basically, when do you ever hear anything anymore in mainstream media? You have to dig a little bit deeper to find anything nowadays about it. And I find it really important that we keep talking about it. And this movie is a good reminder, and it was long overdue. I know that Larry Kramer had plans to come out with a movie earlier and let people make a movie out of his play, but there were certain reasons and certain attempts that did not achieve, or the people didn't achieve what he wanted it to be. So yeah, and now the movie is out, and I can only stress to you to watch it, because it's an amazing movie. There is a lot of heart in that movie. You can feel that everyone that was involved into that movie put a lot of heart into it and a lot of passion, and it's one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. It will come out on DVD. I'm pretty sure it's going to be downloadable on iTunes soon, and you really got to watch it. And the GMHC, by the way, still exists. We're going to have a separate video about it and a separate blog post. They are also backlinked from our website. We are supporting the GMHC. We're going to talk about that later. But go to their website, like their Facebook page, follow them, and help spreading the word, continue spreading the word, because this isn't over yet. Okay, thank you very much. It was a kind of a longer video, but I felt like it's very necessary to make this video and to make it a little bit longer and to talk about it a little bit more in detail. And thanks for watching. Until next time.